Hi, Rich. Let's unwrap a few of the details on the video you were watching. So we started discussing the left whisk and different options for coming out. First in tango, but then we got into the waltz. And the video you were watching of Mirko and Alicia, now the heading they're giving that, or explaining, is to do the left whisk to a twist turn to a same foot lunge. And I can see a little bit why it would be confusing, because he's just barely doing the beginning of the twist turn itself. So the twist turn, of course, you know that very well, unwinding from the heel of the left foot, ball of the right foot, and ending up either with the feet together, or in the case of the waltz, you might end up with the feet apart, going back into a whisk, or in this case into a same foot lunge. But the only part of the twist turn he's actually dancing is this initial part right here. He's moving his weight to the left foot. So it almost looks as if there's no twist turn at all. So I think it's just a little misleading in the description. Okay, so that's all you're going to see is when you commence to unwind, to bring the lady out, and you want her to come out on count 1. You work through your legs and you will move your weight to the left foot. So you can see my feet are rotating. That's all you're getting of the twist turn itself. Now she's running around me in a syncopation. So she's dancing 1, 2, and 3. 4 steps in 3 beats, and that will put us on the same foot. So the same foot lunge, that means that the two of us are both dancing the lunge on the right foot. So as I'm leading her out to start on her right foot, as she gets her weight onto the foot, I will begin to move my weight onto the left foot. I'll get off of the rug here for a moment. What's not described there is that most of this portion of the men's part is actually a spin. So it commences as a twist turn. She's running around me here, takes a small step outside partner, so her leg is on the outside of me. Then he does a spin. When he lands, this is where we fit the lady right into, if we had a little pocket on the inside of the slacks here. Okay, so she's moved inside of my thigh for a same foot lunge. Now her right leg is moving backward. What's important here, and you'll notice that Mirko does that beautifully, of course, is put a nice shape to the left as he extends his right foot. This is encouraging the lady's right leg to move back, and then travels over to change the shape. So he uses 1 bar of music for the twist and spin. I'm going to say twist and spin so you notice the spin part of it. She does a syncopated run, and then they dance 1, 2, 3 of the same foot lunge. So you could think of that in 3 divisions: the preparation or the point, the transfer of weight, and the change of the shape. Now in this case, they're just coming out with the feet together and not showing an entrance or an exit. Well, they're not showing an exit to the figure. So I think that's a good thing to practice for now. What we'll plan on doing later, okay, we'll do our prep. We'll transfer the weight, put the base in, and to change the shape. So we might then change the shape back to the left. Now we'll rotate here. So I'm moving my lady then to slide her free foot, her left foot in between. I'm going to count that as an and then I'll dance maybe an open telemark. So that's what we'll plan on doing next, because of course when we dance the same foot lunge, we usually will come out with some kind of a left turning figure or some other action instead of just straightening up. But in the video, he's dancing the lunge, closing his feet, getting ready to start it again. So I'm going to count that. I know they do that multiple times in the video. Going back on 1, side on 2, crossing on 3. We could then say and if we wanted to give the feeling of the lady's sweeping of her leg. Now I'm going to count 1. I'm moving my weight onto the front foot, accelerating my girl around me, using her momentum to help me on my 2, and landing on 3. So step 2 to 3 is the spin. Then we're prepping on 1 and moving our weight. That's kind of blended together. 1, 2, change the shape. 3, I'm going to do another bar, 1, 2, 3 to shape left, then I'm going to rotate my right thigh, the and, slipping her in, and 1. That would be the beginning of my open telomere. So for my lady, she's moving forward, side, and she's stepping back, and then the body turn is what encourages her to embellish with the leg. She steps out on 1, so we're in the counter promenade position. So when she steps out, our sides will close together, but she'll be stepping around my foot. 1, 2, and 3. She lands on 3. The man tucks her in, that little space, to free up her right leg, and then the shape creates a bit of a hinge for her leg to move back, to place her weight, and then take the shape. Now the classic teaching of the same foot lunge, the lady's heel remains up. That's very difficult to do on your own. Not all dancers do that today. Of course, depends largely on how much the man shapes and how much he takes his weight into his right foot. But the classic teaching, her heel is slightly off of the floor to help her elevate the hips. And there are some differing opinions on that. So that will not be too much for the man to be concerned about. Just make sure you're on balance here and you're supporting her in that little groove with your thigh, with your body, and with the frame. Now we did do an exercise for you to spin. Of course, you've got to turn your feet by using the big muscles of the thighs and the hips, but we're also using the upper body. Now we have the frame, and we also have the advantage of the lady's weight and the inspiration to accelerate her through the movement so that as she moves into my arm, she helps me with the spin, providing that you know about that and you're using your upper body. The exercise we did, the easiest way is to use the widest area. You just put the arms out, just rotate back and forth, and then let your upper body help you, and then let your leg muscles help you to spin. So you always dance a spin on the ball of the foot. So when you're coming out, this is relatively flat on step 1, and you're just taking a small step on 2, spinning on the ball of the foot, and then landing on 3. Now you notice when I land on 3, I'm letting my center face the lady. This helps to roll her immediately into the position that I want her in for the same foot lunge. So they do a very good job of doing it multiple times from multiple angles and counting it. But I know you were a little confused about what he was actually doing and where the legs are. So just go over that one more time for the lady. When she's running around, right, here's the man's position. So when she steps out, she's roughly here. She steps around me, and then my step is outside partner. Now to compare it a little bit to the outside spin. Now on the outside spin, we do take a heel, not a hard heel, but we do take a heel lead there and rise. And from there you have a spin, catching the lady in between. So that's the type of action you have on an outside spin. But if you watch him dance it most of the time, he's already starting to rise at the end of his left foot, so he's stepping on ball. I think there was one time he had more of a flat foot. So, but you will feel if you're starting to rise that the use of the ball of the foot on the right foot is the most natural to do. So I hope that helps a little bit, and we can discuss that more and also talk about the exit. It's a very nice advanced group for you to be working on.